will formally introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary McCarley. I'm the Health Education Content Specialist with Goodheart-Willcox. I'm the co-author of the middle school program. And in this quick 30-minute presentation today, I'm going to show you how to navigate our 2025 copyright program in Schoology. So regardless of which one I'm navigating today, how you navigate the middle school program will be the same as the high school, whether it's the comprehensive or essential version or our companion text, it's all the same. So we're going to jump right into the agenda with first showing how you guys would get access to the resources. Then I'm going to click around as well. But before I do, I'm going to pause for a moment. If you are using our 2025 copyright, if you can scan this QR code, and by scanning this QR code, you're going to be able to fill out a form, which is going to generate and send you an email with the training video for our 2025 copyright in Schoology. Again, if you are using a different copyright, don't scan the QR code, but instead just send us a quick email, and then we'll be able to help you out with another copyright. So let's jump right in. I'm going to end 5 minutes early as well so that I can just see if anybody has any questions. So our digital solutions team will work with your LMS admin to load the resources typically into a resource folder. Then on the first day, when your teachers are ready to begin using this program, they often will move the resources from a resource folder into their course. So once they've moved it into their course, then the first thing that they would do, or you would do if you're a teacher on this call or watching this video, is you're going to open the resource folder and you're going to click the top item only that says Instructor, activate your subscription. Now, once you click that, you're going to get a green note that says, thank you for activating your subscription. Now, you can refresh your screen. And once you refresh your screen, go back to the resource folder. And I always mention to teachers, let's just double check and make sure that the activation has been successful. So based on my screen, I can see that the activation has been successful because I can access my teacher resources. Now, we have a lot of support, and if for whatever reason you were to receive an error message, we can definitely work with you. By scanning that QR code, you actually have support services in there as well to help you. Now, let's take a look. Well, actually, before we take a look at an individual lesson, I would always suggest that your top 2 items remain unpublished. So you want to make sure these are unpublished. Mine currently are, which is why they're grayed out. If yours are not unpublished, you'll just click the unpublish right here. Mine are already unpublished. You don't want students to have access to these. Now, on the first day, when you're ready to start this program with students, as a teacher, you would instruct your students to go to your course, open the resource folder, and the student would click the activate your subscription. Once they click that, they get that same green note that says, thank you for activating your subscription. Now they have full access to anything that is published. So you can see here, these are your individual lesson folders. If I'm not teaching 1.3, I just click unpublish, and students would not see that 1.3 is even available to them. So with our 2025 copyright, we have made it fully customizable at the lesson level, which would allow teachers to customize, unpublish, and change the order if you want to drag and drop those folders. So let's take a look inside one of our lesson folders. Now, regardless of which one you're clicking on, whether it's middle or high school, how you navigate them and the resources that are available are very similar for both middle and high. Both have an English and Spanish text. I'll click on the English text. And I can scroll up to go full screen by clicking this icon on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I can zoom in and see this page closer. Zoom out and see it smaller. Everything you see is the same that the student would see. The magnifying glass allows a student to search within a lesson by a page number or key term, only within the lesson. And then the student can also navigate within the lesson only to different sections. Click again to close. Now, the student only has access to lesson 1.4 because it is customizable at the lesson level. Every lesson in middle and high has an essential question. You've got learning outcome statements, key terms, and a reading and note-taking activity. High school, you have a warm-up. Notice it's skills-based. That check mark indicates in both middle and high a skills-based opportunity, and we always identify the skill being practiced. Middle school, you have an introduction. For both middle and high, it is divided by sections. We know that probably students are not going to read the whole text in one sitting, so we have chunked it by section. You'll see vocabulary terms are highlighted as well. Notice we're scrolling down. By scrolling down, we do meet accessibility guidelines. If you have a student who needs the pages read to them, they can use their built-in screen readers from their browser. A wonderful feature in both our middle and high school program is our skills-based features that you'll find throughout, like this one, a case study. And notice we always identify the skill being practiced. So great opportunity to get students in teams of 2, allow collaboration, practice skills, and real-world application. I'll continue to make my way through the pages. And once you get to the end of the lesson, there is a summary, comprehend concept questions, critical thinking, and also another opportunity to practice skills. And notice we identify the skill. Now, teachers, like these comprehend concept questions with critical thinking will also be offered as a handout. And I'm going to show you those handouts in just a moment that you can assign in Schoology as either a Word or Google Doc. That was our digital text. So the icon in the top right corner will bring you back and we can return to lesson 1.4. That lesson is also available in full Spanish and it does match page for page. Now, on that occasion, teachers, if you ever have a student who speaks another language besides English or Spanish, it is possible to translate our English text, but there is an extra step that a teacher would need to make. If I needed 1.4 in Arabic or Somalian, as a teacher, I would click this gear icon and I would click Edit. Once I click Edit, I do need to change where it says Launch in Schoology to open in a new browser. And then I just click Save Changes. Once the student clicks it, it will open in a new browser. Now, the student can click the 3 dots in the top right corner, click Translate, and mine detects English. Theirs might automatically say Arabic at the top if they use it often, but I can translate to another language and scroll to the next page and it does change. Now, some of the pictures don't change, but the text does change. So because we do meet accessibility guidelines, you'll find that the translation is really good. So teachers, I just wanted to show you that if it's not needed, you'll never need to click the edit button and open in a new browser. I'm going to set it back to open in Schoology. So besides the English and Spanish text, just depending on the lesson you're looking at, some lessons will have videos and animations. So I'll click on this video or animation. Some of them also do have guided worksheets. Yes, I can click on this and it will download. As a teacher, I could print that, or in just a moment, I'm going to show you how you can assign as either a Word or Google Doc. All of our videos, student will just click play. They can also view the transcript. I'll return to 1.4. This lesson actually has 2 separate videos. If I decide that I don't need one, it really is as easy as just clicking unpublish. And you can unpublish anything within our lesson folders. Every lesson in middle and high also has vocabulary activities, and these are just intended for self-assessment and practice. For example, every lesson has English flashcards. The student will click it and flip it to see the definition. They can remove it from the deck and click next to go to the next one. I would only remove it if I already know this one, and then click next. Now, rather than seeing the term first, the student has the option to change it to see the definition first, turn their audio off, shuffle the deck, reset the card stack if I deleted any, and a click apply if I make any changes. So every lesson in middle and high does have those in English, English, Spanish, and full Spanish. Every lesson has a matching activity. This is really just intended for self-assessment and practice. I'm just typing in a few answers, and I'll click check answers if I had gotten one right. One is green and the rest is red, and it does prompt them to try again and keep trying until I get them all right. So it really is just practice. It's not going to send the teacher a grade or notification that the student did it. Every lesson has a vocab game. It is set up similar to Jeopardy. Whether they get it right or wrong, it does tell them the correct answer. Just practice. Every lesson has a spelling challenge. Play the term and try to spell it correctly. Every lesson has a glossary. So again, teachers, if you love all of these resources, you'll just want to leave those published for students. If you decide that you don't need it, unpublish it. If you think your students might benefit from having this as the first item while you take attendance, then just drag and drop it and set it in its new location. Every lesson has an audio summary as well. Just click play and listen to a short summary of the lesson. Now, in addition to the textbook and interactive tools, every lesson folder, you will see student activities in English and Spanish. I tell teachers, leave these unpublished. You can see that mine are already unpublished. Think of this as a folder that houses the handouts that are available for 1.4. I'll click on English, but just below are the Spanish version. So I keep those unpublished because teachers, we know that you're not going to assign all 6 of these options for 1.4. We just don't typically have time for that, but you may want to pick and choose what you want. So if you like more text-dependent questions for both middle and high, we do have our reading guides, which encourage active readers. Or both middle and high has review and assessment questions. High school, those are the exact questions at the end of the lesson. But if you like a more skills-based approach, maybe those that are more real-world application types of assessments, practicing skills, I would definitely take a closer look at our workbook pages. And in high school, we also have skill development activities. Now, for both the workbook and the skill development activities, the student doesn't have to have read all of 1.4 because, again, they're not text-dependent questions, more real-world application. I'll click on Setting SMART Goals and open it up from my downloads. So anytime you click on one of our documents, it's going to go to your downloads. Now, teachers, if you're watching this or live today, if you're on a Mac and your Mac does not have Word, don't worry about it. Your document may not immediately open, but I'll show you in just a moment how you can take a zip file, bring the entire zip file in your drive, and everything will convert to Google Docs, which is likely what you prefer. So mine opened as a Word document. I can click Enable Editing, make any changes I want to this. I could print it. Or in just a moment, I'll show you how to assign as either a Word or Google Doc, whichever is preferred. So first, I wanted to show you the options that are available. So I'll return to lesson 1.4. Now I have to decide how I'm going to assign that as either a Word or Google Doc. So let's first address Word. If you're going to assign as a Word document, I'll click Add Materials, Add Assignment. I'll call it Goal Setting. I can provide instructions for my students. And right here, File, I'll click that. And I should actually just see that assignment sitting on my downloads because I just saved it. And I'll click Open. And this will open as a Word document. I can assign a due date. I will have to assign my category and just click create. And now I have added it as a Word document, but instead you might want to assign as a Google Doc. If that's the case, you can go to your Google Drive. Now, I always mention to teachers, before you ever bring your first document into your Drive, check your gear icon. I'll click the gear icon, click settings, scroll down and make sure this button is checked, uploads. By checking this box, anytime you bring one Word document in or an entire folder of Word documents in, they'll automatically convert to Google Docs, and that will save you time. So my box is checked. Now I'll click New and do a file upload because it is just one file. Grab the document and click Open. While that's beginning to work, I'll go back to my Canvas course, click Add Materials, add an assignment. And this time, I think it was goal setting. I can give my students instructions. I'm going to click my Google Drive assignments. They have recently done an update with Schoology. So teachers, you can also just click Google assignments. But my option allows me to click Google Drive assignments, choose it from my recents and click attach. And you can see it automatically makes a copy for each student. Add your category, which you'll set yourself, and just click create. So now you can see you can add it as either a Word or Google Doc, whichever is preferred. So you might be thinking to yourself that I'm not a big fan of having to download everything just to view it and create an assignment. And if that's the case, we do have a solution, and I'm going to show you that solution right now. But before I do, I just want to mention that regardless of which lesson folder you're looking at, you'll see that the format is all very similar. Just make sure to unpublish the bottom two items, which are your handouts. Other than that, pick and choose what you decide to publish. Now let me show you where you can access the handouts as a zip folder. We're going to open our resource folder. And this time we're going to go to the online instructor resources. Those are your own teacher resources. And I'll click on that. And I was just navigating 1.4, so I'm going to go to Module 1. And I've clicked on Module 1, and I'll scroll down, and you will see on the left-hand side, I have zip folders. And this one is titled Student Resource Zip Folder. I'll click it. And once you click it, you can open it from your downloads. This is all of Module 1. If I double click, I can see the lesson folder. So if I open 1.4, those are all the Word documents, including even the video guides are there. So wouldn't it be nice if I could take this folder and save it if I want to assign as a Word document, or upload it to my Drive if I plan to assign as a Google Doc. So if you're going to assign as a Word document, all you need to do, if you want to, is just drag and drop it and put it wherever you'd like. And now you have the whole folder downloaded. But if you're going to assign as a Google Doc, you're going to want to move this into your Drive. If you're on a Chromebook and on the left-hand side, you see Google Drive, just drag and drop it to your Google Drive. If you're on a Mac, you do not need to do this next step. For everybody else, like a HP or other devices, you have an extra step. Your extra step is right-click, click the copy, and copy it out of the zip. Now you can download it anywhere you would like. And I'm just going to put it in my downloads, and I'll paste it. So now mine is going in my downloads. And this time I'll go back to my Google Drive, click New, and do a folder upload. And yours should be sitting at the very top. Now I replaced the file, but if you're doing it for the first time, it will say 01 student files and be sitting right there. I would likely need to scroll down, or here it is, and just click upload, and that will take the whole module and put it in your drive. So a lot of teachers say that's a huge time saver to do that. So you'll see that they're in English and Spanish. So next, let's take a look at our teacher resources. So remember, we're in the online instructor resources. I'm going to scroll to lesson 1.4. And here I will find my lesson plan, scope and sequence, a pre-quiz, and a post-quiz. This is actually the Word version of that. In just a moment, I'm going to show you the auto-graded version of our pre and post quizzes. Every lesson from middle and high has an easier version of the reading guide. We've got PowerPoints with PowerPoint guided notes. And depending on the lesson you're looking at, you may see a teacher-directed activity or a parent engagement homework assignment. Due to time, I'm not going to click on all of these, but I do strongly encourage you to take a look at these. These are excellent tools for teachers. Teachers always start with the lesson plan. They're very detailed and done by teachers, and it will show you everything you have. If I go to another lesson, you'll find out the format is just the same. But if you don't want to download everything, you can access everything through the zip file. You can upload it to your drive, and those will convert to Google Docs and slides. Again, a huge time saver. Also in the teacher zip folder, you're going to find our assessments and answer keys. I'll click on assessments and answer keys, which is in the zip file. Now we're done with module 1. Here's your review day lesson plan, letter for families that highlights the lessons included, all your answer keys divided by lesson. Depending on what module you're looking at, some modules in our middle and high school program will have extra formative assessments to do on review days. This one says case study assessment. But both our middle and high school program has performance tasks, and those have been loved by teachers. So teachers, if you prefer a more skills-based summative, then take a look at our performance tasks. Most have 3 to 4 for every module. Just click on it. It will go to your downloads, open it up. You'll find that the format is the same for middle and high, and that the first page is directions for the teacher, task for the student, and a rubric for grading. But if you're a teacher that likes a more traditional test, both middle and high has easy, intermediate, and difficult exams. This is the Word version. I'm going to now show you the auto-graded version. Again, that's just the Word version. So this whole time, I have been clicking around the module level and the teacher resources. So I showed you guys everything. This is just the textbook. The instructor's edition is pretty self-explanatory. So let me show you your auto-graded exams, and then I have one last quick thing to show you. So the auto-graded exams, we have a step-by-step guide on how to do that. We'll often try to work with your LMS admin so that we can help your LMS admin to bring that into your course for you. If they don't have time or they want the teacher to do it, we do have a step-by-step guide to do that. But once they're in your course, you will see that we have pre-built questions. There's true, false, there's multiple choice. As I continue to scroll down, you can edit the question, you can delete the question, you can click setup, make changes like setting a time limit. You can preview it if you want to, even by clicking actions. You can print your assessment as well. And again, students will take it and you can set it up so that it automatically goes to your grade book. So every lesson has a pre-quiz, a post-quiz, every module has an exam. Again, we'll do our best to work with your LMS admin to help them bring it into the course, but if they're not able to or want the teacher to do it, we do have step-by-step guides in our online instructor resources. Under the question bank files, scroll down to Schoology, which is right here. You'll find a step-by-step guide. And then also those exams I just showed you was the standard version. Pre-quiz, post-quiz for every lesson. We do have a differentiated version as well. So one last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'll see if anybody has questions, is the course planning section. In the course planning section, I'll just hit the highlights due to time, is we do have our content update lessons. So 2 to 4 times per school year, we are adding brand new lessons. As you guys know, energy drinks have really become popular among teens. Just click on it, open it up. You'll see the first few pages are for the teacher to learn about this topic. This is all background information for the teacher, learning outcomes, their key terms, everything you need is in this packet, and they have a step-by-step guide to help them. Eventually, they'll get to where it says student handout. They'll click enable editing, delete the first 4 pages, and save a new copy for students. Now, our authors wrote these, so the reading level will be accurate with the textbook for middle school and for high school. And eventually, when they get to the end of the lesson, there's text-dependent questions and then also a skills-based workbook page and answer keys. So make sure to delete that last page. Teachers have loved these updated lessons, and we know the dietary guidelines have recently been updated. Because this affected more than one of our titles, we actually supplied extra resources for this. You'll even see a PowerPoint. You've got lesson plans, additional handouts. So definitely take a closer look at that as well. Best practices for teachers. We've got course planning guides, additional templates, additional rubrics. High school has vocab activities here. Middle school, yours are actually embedded at the lesson level. And if you're using our comprehensive version, then you'll find the opt-out materials here in case a parent ever opts their child out of a lesson like on either STIs, pregnancy prevention, human sexuality. If you're using our companion text, you will need to go to the course planning of the companion text to find those opt-out materials. I know that's a lot of information in a short period of time. I'm hoping that you have had a chance to scan that QR code that I highlighted right here. By scanning this QR code, you will actually receive a longer, more comprehensive training video for our 2025 copyright in Schoology. And again, these training videos are going to be included in email to you as long as you fill out that QR code or scan it, fill out the QR code. But if you have any questions at the bottom of the screen, feel free to email us at pd@g-w.com. Email us any of your questions. As a team, we are absolutely committed to making sure all teachers are trained in using our program. So I truly hope this was helpful.